work towards being able to be the person that everybody looks at and says, this is the guy. This is the guy that's going to take our company to new realms. Now, I've been here before, yes, but I have a whole new confidence, a whole new realm of knowledge that I have been able to learn the past 16 years of being in WWE. So I know what it takes to hold this prestigious title. I know what it takes to have main event caliber matches and be a main event caliber superstar. And for me to be that guy, I think that not only I will turn heads, but like I said on Monday Night Raw, I said that everyone thought they knew what the road to WrestleMania looked like. And I guaranteed this guy, this face, having that title was not in their picture. And I put a detour on everyone, and now you have no idea what's going to happen, but I guarantee you're going to want to know what's going to happen next.
G'day from Australia, Miz. It's an absolute pleasure to chat. I do want to quickly touch on the last time you were WWE champion, because I don't know if you recall, but you did a massive media tour here in Australia. You represented the company fantastically, did a stack of radio interviews, TV appearances, even did the Australian Nickelodeon Kids Awards as well. But
on my birthday.
Now, yeah, so there you go. But now it probably will be a while before you can head back down under. But now that you are a father, how does that change your priorities? Because your free time isn't that much, and the responsibilities of a WWE champion, like doing those appearances, how do you sort of juggle your priorities now, 2021 Miz, compared to the Miz 10, 11 years ago that was champion?
As soon as I became a father, life changed. And I think I speak for every single parent out there when I say it's the toughest job that you'll ever have is being a father or a mother. And when you have children, it opens a whole new part of your heart that you didn't even know you had, a whole new love that you had no idea that you had. And I do everything for them. The number one thing people are asking me, what did you do when you won the WWE championship? I called my wife and I said, did they see it? Did they see it? And they're 3-1. They don't understand what's going on. But in my mind, all I want to do is impress them. And I came home and I showed them the title. They have no idea what this title means and what this title represents, but they got to play with it and hold it. And someday I'll get to show them the pictures of them when their dad was the guy. And so my goal is to always make them proud, make my family proud. And I will do whatever it takes to do that. And I also know from being a WWE champion before what it takes to hold that title and what it means to not only myself, but every superstar that is vying to become a WWE champion. And I need to be a role model, not only just for my kids, but for all of them. And it's not necessarily being a role model. It's being a person that says, okay, when you're WWE champion, this is what it takes. And if you're not at that level, you do not deserve that title. And everyone thinks that they deserve this title, but they don't understand the pressures and stresses. And even the audience, as much as I can sit there and say, like, you guys don't understand, you don't understand, you won't understand. It's like when someone says, you don't get what it's like to have kids. And you're like, yes, I do. It's like, I got dogs, I got cats. It's like, no, you don't understand until you actually have the kids. That's when you get it. And once you have this title, people don't understand. And I try to make sure that people do understand what it takes in the ring, outside of the ring, to have this title. And it means more than anything. And Drew McIntyre was an incredible champion. Roman Reigns is an incredible champion, and they deserve it, and they know what it takes, and they do what it takes. And I hope that with this title, I am able to even take what they're doing and make it even more, because this is the most coveted title in all of WWE.
Let's come over to Saul at Record in Mexico.
Hey, Miz. It's
Hola.
awesome having you. Hola. Hola. Man, the storyline between you, Damian, John, and Bad Bunny has been very good. So I ask you to imagine this scenario. The WWE champion, The Miz, defend his title at WrestleMania 37 against Bad Bunny. What do you think of this?
Bad Bunny is an incredible recording artist. He is the biggest recording artist in the world. There's no denying his talent in the music industry. But to be in a WWE championship match, in the main event of WrestleMania, you need to earn your way to do that. You don't just come into WWE and we just throw it at you. You need to earn, especially with me. Maybe times past, you know, they would sit there and say, oh, this is going to be it. This is who we're getting. No, with this title, I want to make sure that the person earns the right to be a WWE championship. So Bad Bunny needs years in order to do that. So as talented as he does not deserve to be in the same he doesn't even deserve to be in the same ring as the WWE champion, The Miz.
Let's come next to Ollie at Give Me Sport in the UK.
Hi, Miz. Thanks for taking the time. And, you know, that feeds quite well into my question. Obviously, you mentioned Bad Bunny not having the right to, you know, take the title off you at WrestleMania. If you get past Bobby Lashley on Raw, there are maybe two guys. When you get past Bobby Lashley on Raw, there are two guys who haven't had a WWE Championship rematch, and those are Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar. And that's quite interesting. So how would you feel about a triple threat? The Miz, Brock Lesnar, and Drew McIntyre in the main event of WrestleMania 37.
I am all about strategizing, trying to figure out what is best for this WWE championship. And to be completely honest with you, sometimes the critics, sometimes the WWE universe doesn't know what's best for them. I do. I've been here for a long time. I've been here for 16 years. So I think, in my opinion, that people need to, or like I said with Bad Bunny, people need to earn their way. This isn't the WWE Championship Open Challenge. I'm not just opening it up to just anyone, because just anyone can't hold this WWE Championship. Can a Drew McIntyre? Yes, he's done it. Can a Brock Lesnar? Yes, he's done it. Can Bobby Lashley? Lashley right now is on fire. There is no one more dominant in WWE than Bobby Lashley, and I know this. So I am prepared. I am ready to take on whoever at WrestleMania in the main event for this most coveted title in all of WWE. Whether it be Brock Lesnar, whether it be Drew McIntyre, yes, they're definitely viable candidates, but they need to earn it. And to earn it, you need to be here. And one of those people are not here. And so we'll see what happens. This is what I love about WWE. You don't know what's going to happen. I don't know, as WWE champion, what is going to happen on a week-to-week basis. And now with me as champion on the road to WrestleMania, we don't know. It's a best case scenario going into WrestleMania, because that's the best part. Cliffhangers. We love stories that we don't know what's going to happen. And I'm going to throw wrenches all over the place. So you tune in each and every week.
Let's come next to Byron Lucas at Media 24 in South Africa.
Hi, Miss Byron here from Media 24, Cape Town, South Africa. The question I want to ask you, I think you answered this question already. What's so special from all the titles you had in your career? What's so special about this one?
Besides the fact that it made me the first ever two-time Grand Slam champion in the history of this business. Hogan wasn't able to do it. Shawn Michaels wasn't able to do it. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre weren't able to do it. I am the first. And not only that, this title, it like, whether anyone wants to say anything else, it is the most coveted title. It is on the flagship show of Monday Night Raw. These are the values that you must display as a champion. And I think I represent that as a WWE champion. It means a lot to me to know that my heroes, the people that I grew up watching and loving and admiring, held this prestigious title. And it's my duty to make sure that I am up to not only up to the challenge, but I raise the bar for the people of the past and for the people of the future that hold this WWE championship. And to be honest, I don't think we're going to have much of a future because you're going to only see this face with this title at all times.
We come next to Axel over in France. Axel, you just need to hit unmute.
Hi, Miz.
Hey,
First of all, congratulations on your victory for the WWE Championship. You really deserve it, so congrats.
thank you.
You talked about strategy, so I have a question for you. Bobby Lashley is part of the Hurt Business faction. You only have John Morrison on your side. So do you plan to create a faction to compete with Hurt Business? And if you had to create one, who would be the members of your faction?
Oh, wow. Great question. As far as a faction is concerned, I don't necessarily need a faction. I look to John Morrison because John Morrison is a person who can elevate me as a talent. I elevate John as a talent. And we just together, we have just such an immense chemistry with one another that we are just unstoppable. I mean, if you watch Monday Night Raw, the entire show is basically us. And why? Because we can handle the time. We can give you must-see, entertaining TV each and every week. We can give you layers upon layers of story. Our characters are larger than life. And as far as the Hurt Business is concerned, Bobby Lashley needs 5 people in his group. He needs to be elevated. He needs that many people to elevate himself. I don't need that. I'm the WWE champion for a reason. So I don't need a faction. The reason why John Morrison and myself are together is because we are elevating one another. If Bobby Lashley needs MVP, Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander, plus this person and this person, this person, this person, there's to elevate him to get into the WWE championship conversation, then I think we have another problem on our hands. Is he talented? 100%. Bobby Lashley, there is no one more dominant in all of WWE, and you're hearing this from the WWE champion himself, than Bobby Lashley right now. And I will strategize and I will make sure that he does not get this WWE championship because I am going to the main event of WrestleMania with this title and I'm walking out the main event of WrestleMania with this title like I did 10 years ago.
Great answer. Thank you.
We'll come next to Giuseppe from Asca News in Italy.
Hi, Miss.
Hey.
10 years after the first time, how much did you have changed in those years?
I am a completely different human being, a different superstar. I think differently. I'm more confident. I've always been a person that I pride myself on learning, being a sponge, taking everything in and utilizing it for my advantage to make sure that once I have something like this, I am ready for it. When the opportunity presents itself to have this title, you better be ready. And I am more ready than I've ever been in my entire career. I am in the prime. I am in elite level status when you think of in the ring, on the microphone. My presence just elevates everyone around me. And so I think that these 10 years of holding the WWE championship, being able to understand what it takes and then going through the trials and tribulations, all my failures that I have had since I've been WWE champion have taught me how to become a success now. And so I've learned a lot from some of the best superstars that a lot of the superstars today haven't been able to be in the ring with. And now it's my duty to elevate everyone that is in WWE that steps in the ring with me to showcase exactly what it takes to hold this prestigious title.
We'll come next to Kenny McIntosh for Sporth in the UK.
Hey, Miz, how's it going?
Good.
Listen, you were just hearing you talk there and you're talking about being WWE champion again. I want to ask you about when you were WWE champion the first time, because you win the belt, you're ready to go, and then you're going to face John Cena at WrestleMania and The Rock comes back to WWE. And a lot of people were kind of saying, Rock Cena's the program, and you're kind of there as well. And I wonder, how did you cope with that situation with Rock kind of being inserted there? And because it's your moment to take your moment and shine, and the Rock's come back after 7 years. What are your memories of it, and how did you kind of cope with all that frenzy at the time?
I used it as fuel for my fire, like I've always had. Like I've always had a chip on my shoulder. There's always been negativity towards me, whether it was when I first came into WWE, whether I got let's think about my career. When I first came to WWE, nobody wanted me there. Not the WWE universe, not the critics, not the WWE locker room. Everyone wanted me out. They hated me. Could not stand me as a human being, as a WWE superstar. And then I get the WWE championship maybe 4 or 5 years later. Nobody in the locker room wanted me to have that. None of the critics. I remember my Twitter feed, and it was literally all negativity, 100%. Nobody respected me. Nobody liked me. Nobody wanted me to be a WWE champion. And then going on to main event WrestleMania and having The Rock and John Cena, and everyone thought that was a storyline. I don't know if you remember the promo I cut, but when people started to say that, it got into me. And whenever that happens, you give me a microphone and I will not only make you believe that I am the champion, that I am representing this company, that I am the man, I am the one that you should be talking about. I am not a second-rate superstar. I am the superstar. And I made people believe that. And I walked out of WrestleMania, the WWE champion, as a bad guy, mind you. That doesn't happen in the main event of WrestleMania. But I did that. Now, did The Rock help? Sure. But remember, I'm the master strategist. I always thinking far ahead of everybody else to make sure that I am the success, because I know what it takes.
We'll come next to Philipp Platzer at Hoyt in Austria.
Hello, Miz.
Hello.
Congratulations to your title win from Austria.
Thank you.
My question is, how much do you miss the fans that boo you?
As much as they do boo me, chant, you suck, you have to miss the WWE universe. There's just some sort of electricity that when they are in the arena or the stadium cheering or booing you, there is nothing quite like it in all of entertainment. And that's what sets us apart from everybody else. But I think WWE has done an incredible job, has won awards, and our state of the art. I mean, this just goes to show the production team that is behind WWE. Everyone is basically, I don't want to say copycatting us, but they're taking what we have done and utilizing it for their benefits. And I think the Thunderdome has given us an audience, even if it is through virtual experience, it still feels like the fans are there. And I enjoy that, but I cannot wait until we have a live audience again. I can't wait till we get back to Austria and get to perform in front of the audiences out there. And honestly, all over the world. I mean, that's what we love to do. We love traveling. We love going to different countries and showcasing exactly who we are. And we are the best entertainers in the world.
We'll come next to Jude Al-Dajani for HMW Podcast.
Hello, Mez. Congratulations on your second reign.
Thank you.
Have a quick question for you. When you and if you had the chance to defend that title at WrestleMania against a dream opponent, who would it be? Past or present?
I'd really like to give John Morrison the chance at a WWE championship. He has earned it. There's no one more talented, no one I look to that can elevate me to be the superstar that I am inside and outside the ring. He's the brother that I've never had. And I think he deserves it. And that's why I have been so against Bobby Lashley going for the WWE championship. It's nothing against Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley is a tremendous talent. But I think you need to earn the right to face the WWE championship rather than just giving it over, handing it over. Now, granted, did I make the deal with him? Sure, I did. But once you become champion, things change. And you start to understand, and Bobby doesn't understand this because he's never been WWE champion. He doesn't understand the risk, the stress, the pressures, the things that a champion has to entail. And I just want to make sure that when I have a match, this person is ready. And if they're not ready, they're not getting this title. And I don't think anyone is ready for this title. And I think even if John Morrison goes up against me at WrestleMania, he's not winning the title. I am your WWE champion for a reason.
We will come next to Elva. Elva over in Spain.
Hi, Miss.
Hello.
You are one of the best in this business, as we all know. So what do you think a perfect WWE champion should stand for?
Should stand for?
Yeah.
He should represent this title as with honor, with prestige, with respect. This title has been held by the best of the best. The list goes on and on of superstars who have fought their blood, sweat, and tears to make sure that that respect, honor, and prestige stays intact for the most coveted title in all of WWE. And that is my job, to make sure that I not only respect the people of the past, but I make sure that this title is elevated for the superstars of the future. And in my opinion, there won't be a future for the superstars. I will elevate everybody, but this title will be retired with me. And that is in my opinion. But you never know what is going to happen in WWE.
We've got time for a few more quick ones. So let's come next to Alistair McGeorge at Metro in the UK.
Hey man, how's it going?
Good.
Good. You've already alluded to sort of the kind of challenges and adversity you did have to overcome earlier in your career. So I was wondering, what do you kind of regard as the big turning point for you behind the scenes, and who's been your biggest sort of supporter and guiding hand over sort of the last 10, 15 years?
I honestly think my biggest supporter has been my wife. There's no one that supports me more. Whenever she is, when she was outside the ring and being kind of like my manager, she motivated me. She made me better. Honestly, whenever you have a beautiful wife and she's staring at you and you're in a Speedo, you kind of stand a little taller, to be honest. You kind of pump up your body a little bit more. You want to impress her. You want to show off. It's just things that you do. But also if I'm talking about it as well, I would say my wife, and you know who else? Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon has always been a big supporter of me. I think he enjoys my work ethic as well as my talents. I think he sees the ability that I have and is able to showcase me in Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views, commercials, whatever WWE needs. I am a guy that can do it, and can do it to an elite level talent and be a main event caliber superstar and represent this company like it should be represented. We are not just wrestlers anymore. We are the best entertainers in the world. There is no one that can entertain an audience, whether it is live, whether it's through a virtual Thunderdome, better than WWE superstars. And I'm incredibly thankful to be able to have the job I have. I love what I do. I have a passion for it. And so, yeah, I think Vince McMahon as well as my wife are my two biggest supporters.
Let's come to Ash Rose for a question. Ash, go ahead.
Hey Miz, congrats on the championship win.
Thank you, and congrats on all your action figures.
Thank you very much.
You're a true 10-year-old.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
just kidding.
My wife would say the same, Miz. I wanted to ask you if you could go back 10 years and give advice to the Miz that first won the WWE Championship. What advice would you give him now we see you as champion in 2021?
That's a great question. I get it quite a bit. What would you tell your past? And I think a lot of people get this question a lot in their lives. Like, what would you tell, childhood Mike, or 20-year-old Mike, 30-year-old Mike? And to be honest, keep doing exactly what you're doing. Listen, learn. Don't just hear someone. When they tell you something, listen, absorb it, understand what they're trying to get out there, and then go and do it. And make sure that you get all the tools you could possibly need to prepare yourself. These are the things that I do. So the reason why I say, like, I would tell myself to do exactly what you did is because I've always been a person that I prepare for opportunities that aren't even there right now. I'm preparing right now for opportunities that could present themselves, so I am ready when that opportunity presents itself. So these are things that I just always do as a human being. And hopefully whenever I say something like this, it gets out there and other people can learn from that as well.
We're going to come to our final question, and that will come from Alex McCarthy at TalkSport. It might come from Alex.
Hey, champ.
There we go.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, so I'm just glad that you could hear me there. I was getting paranoid. Anyway, as we've talked about during this chat, you know, you've grown so much and learned so much from the odyssey between your first reign and the second reign. I felt like a lot of fans kind of, I don't want to say turned the corner, but wanted to see you in that title picture again around 2016 and the brand split and the work you did on SmackDown. Everybody wanted to see you and Daniel Bryan for the title, then you into the Miz Taraj. Do you really feel like that was a time where you were like, yeah, I feel like I should be back in that picture now? You probably always feel that, but the work was really speaking for itself at that point.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think there was a time when I was going to go for it, and things change in WWE like that. And I could be sitting here right now, a 3 or 4 time WWE champion, if I look back at my career at how many times I felt like I was in the mix and I was ready, and I was even in my ear going, people were in my ear going, oh, it's probably going to happen, and it just doesn't. So you don't know, like this, I wasn't sure this was going to happen. Me being WWE champion, like, as much as I can be egotistical and arrogant and be the Miz, in all honesty, whenever you have the Money in the Bank contract, there's a little side of you that goes, I'm going to be the one that cashes in and loses. Like, I just know it's going to happen. And especially when you have Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns as your champions, I mean, these guys are unstoppable. They're an unstoppable force. They go through, you know, these incredible matches. I mean, I saw Roman Reigns in Kevin Owens' match, and I was like, oh my goodness, they're just tearing each other apart. And Roman still left standing in the end. And it's like, how am I supposed to cash in if this guy is still standing in the end of this type of match? And then you look at Drew McIntyre going through everything in the Elimination Chamber and still standing. Bobby Lashley had to come out and beat him up again. He still kicked out of my DDT. And then I had a skull crush finale. I was like, you just don't know. And so to sit here with the WWE Championship, it's incredible for me. It really is, because I have been told many times in 2016, 17, 18, there was a bunch of times where it's like, ooh, we're almost there. And then I'd get drafted or something else would happen. And certain things happen, and the juggling is always happening. And, you know, sometimes you're there and it's like, it happened. And other times it's like, I just have to work harder. I have to be better. I have to do better. I have to keep, you know, elevating myself to get to that moment. And here we sit. That moment took a little while, but it's kind of incredible. In 2010, it was 100% negativity from the critics, from Twitter, from all the fans, 100% negativity. You shouldn't have it. You suck. You're the worst. 10 years later, it was half and half. You know, it was you suck, but we respect you. Or it was like, he deserves it. He should have gotten it 2 years ago. He deserves it. And others were like, this is the weakest champion we've ever had. And to be honest, I look at it all as fuel for my fire, to prove these people wrong, to showcase exactly the talent that I have that maybe they don't see, that maybe I can enlighten them. Like if you look at interviews with Angry Miz Girl, who was my biggest hater, could not stand me. 10 years later, I saw an interview with her that she said she loves seeing me with the title and enjoys it. And there's no bigger fan than her. So I was able to turn that person's mind. And that's what I plan on doing with this title reign.
Imagine if I just had an impressive run-in from Angry Mizgal on the Zoom call. I wish I'd planned it. I'm sorry that I didn't. Thank you all so much for your questions. We appreciate it. The one final thing, I guess, we know what's coming on Monday. Miz, what can we expect from Monday Night Raw coming up?
Expect the unexpected. And that's all I'm going to say.